I'm Todd Strange, Mayor of the City of Montgomery. Thank you for spending this time with us. It's been 17 days since Gregory Gunn was shot and killed on McElvey Street during an encounter with Montgomery police officer A.C. Smith. It's been 11 days since Officer Smith was charged with murder, and it's been 8 days since Mr. Gunn was laid to rest. In this short time, life has changed for the Gunn family, for Officer Smith and his family, for our Montgomery Police Department, and for our city, as each of us struggles to understand this tragic shooting and its aftermath. We all know bits and pieces of what happened. That Officer Smith, who had patrolled the West Precinct for about 2.5 years, was working third shift in an area where a recent uptick in burglaries had prompted concern. That Mr. Gunn, who had lived on McElvey all his life, was walking home about 3 a.m. following an evening with friends. That Officer Smith stopped Mr. Gunn. There was a physical encounter of some kind between the two that ended with gunshots, and that Mr. Gunn was fatally wounded. The independent investigation being conducted by the State Bureau of Investigation is working to determine the facts in this matter, and we will continue to cooperate fully and watch closely as this proceeds through the judicial process. Yes, we were surprised by the decision to arrest Officer Smith on March the 2nd, but we have faith in the judicial system. We directed the Office of City Investigations, through our city attorney, to examine this matter from a merely procedural and administrative standpoint at the time of the incident. City Investigations is independent of any other city department. Opening this inquiry is not contrary to normal practice. In fact, it is standard procedure. However, this inquiry was suspended pending the SBI investigation, which we requested. This is not an effort to contradict or second-guess the ongoing work of SBI. The intent is to examine any procedural or administrative practices that may need to be reevaluated or revised. We want to know if the MPD systems in place are fully protective of our citizens and our officers. There are many unanswered questions, and we understand that not knowing is frustrating for Mr. Gunn's grieving family and neighbors who tell about his generosity in tending their yards, his love of family, his lifelong residency in Mobile Heights. This is also troubling time for Officer Smith and his fellow officers at MPD, who rely on our system of justice each day in fulfilling their sworn oath to protect and to serve. These brothers and sisters in blue are struggling to reconcile the arrest of a young officer they described as squared away, who twice was named Officer of the Month and has been decorated by the MPD. We all know police work is difficult and dangerous. It's both physically and emotionally demanding, and that is why the city has such stringent standards in place to guide us through the recruitment, hiring, and training process. Among applicants to the police academy, 1 in 15 is selected. There are rigid physical and psychological tests to pass and an extensive background check. Applicants who are selected often begin preparing months before their first day at the academy. Each MPD training class lasts 21 weeks. By design, it is rigorous and intense. It is not uncommon for up to half of the trainees to drop out. It has to be tough because the day-to-day police work is so demanding. During the last week, I have spent a considerable amount of time in conversation and prayer with Mr. Gunn's mother and sister. I've also visited with Officer Smith and many hours spent with MPD officers. Some in our community criticize both of these acts of outreach on behalf of our city, perhaps not understanding that we can both grieve with the Gunn family and at the same time stand by Officer Smith and the MPD family. We believe that is exactly what we are called upon to do. The two are not mutually exclusive, despite the fact that there are those who would use this moment to try to tear down the bridges that we have built and those that we are yet to build. We believe what joins us together in the city of Montgomery is more powerful than what would divide us. And there is no doubt that throughout the MPD family, as well as the Gunn family, and the entire Montgomery community, we are all united in our yearning for justice, which we trust this process will deliver. Our path forward is guided by our commitment to try to do what is right, and by the sure knowledge that we are moving towards the light of truth. Thank you for allowing me to share with you.